So what are we doing? We're gonna open my computer. We are going to react to cringy interviews. Why are we reacting to cringy interviews as a therapist? Well, I'm reacting to them because I genuinely think you guys can learn a lot about people through these interviews. You can learn a lot about interpersonal relationships. You can learn about autonomy. And we are going to start off with a doozy, and that is the Ellen and Taylor Swift interview. You ready? Let's go. Let's do this.
She always asks me who I'm dating every time I'm on the show, and I don't even know why, but it gets 5 million hits on YouTube.
Okay, so, I mean, in the beginning of that interview, Taylor makes a joke about, like, with that song. And then Ellen brings up that every time I ask about guys, like, it gets a lot of views. But then that song got, like, 15 million views. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, are we stupid? Who's doing this for views? If Taylor's like, all media is good media, like, that might be her stance and that's fine. But it sounds like she's trying to be like, can you not use me for clout? Like, can you not use me for views? And Ellen is just making the entire interview again about men that she's dated, which of course is gonna feel like really obnoxious. And this is where I think I have the problem. And it's this clip where she goes
to it.
Well, you probably talked to him earlier today. How's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while because we didn't date.
Yes, you did. Why do you deny it?
Because we didn't.
Oh, okay. So
here's where my little therapy hack goes on. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Yes, even celebrities are allowed to have privacy, which means if she did date Zac Efron, if she did, she is allowed to not have to publicly disclose that. Yes, I understand that she's a celebrity and people are interested in her personal life, but she's a singer and she's allowed to disclose like what she would like to disclose. And this is the thing I think I have a hard time with, is that Ellen is basically assuming, well, you are denying it and, you know, why aren't you being honest about it? And she's basically accusing her of like lying. And Taylor is like very upset about that. And then this is where it gets tricky, is like Ellen is just blatantly dismissing her.
which song is about Zac on the new CD?
There's nothing really about Zac on the CD because we didn't, so, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk about your #1 hit.
So she says, let's talk about the new CD. And then she immediately is like, which songs are about what guy? And okay, let me validate something. I'm sure a lot of the Taylor Swift fans, the Swifties out there, are like, no, that's the fun of it. We want to know which songs are about what guys, and like, we like to figure it out and all the Easter eggs and whatever. And to some degree, I think Taylor wants, I mean, this is just my 2 cents. I'm sure she likes the idea of like people kind of like keeping the mystery. She says that in the interview. She's like, this is my one shred of things that like I have that I don't want to disclose, you know, because it's kind of like a part of the mystery of it all. To be fair, her disclosing what every single song is about is honestly losing the like idea around the albums, which is like keeping some of the mystery and whatever. And even if that wasn't her game, even if that wasn't part of her marketing, you know, technique, she's allowed to not tell everybody. She's allowed to just make a song and then not disclose that. And that is so foreign to people, is that like celebrities are human beings. They're allowed to have privacy, and that privacy isn't secrecy. It's not something that she's trying to stop people from understanding. She genuinely is allowed to just have privacy. And then this is where I get really, really like irked as a therapist, which is the idea of going against someone's actual consent around an experience. And so many people understand consent around sex, but they don't really understand consent around everyday experiences. And this is a really good example of consent around an everyday experience. And it's this part.
Here's what I'll do. You don't have to say. I'm going to show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it when.
Oh my God.
All right? We'll show pictures.
I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you.
Okay, here's a bell. You ring it. I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you will.
This is the
Yeah, you will.
one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have is I know that.
What do you mean one shred of dignity? You're
I'm
filled
not
with
gonna,
dignity.
But people go and make guesses about it, and the only thing that I have is like that one
Okay,
card.
ring it on 3 different guys. We'll narrow it down. So ring it 3 different times. So then it's still out there. We still don't know. So let's show some pictures. All right.
She's just sitting there like really uncomfortable.
All right.
We didn't date.
Okay,
And, like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's that feeling that I know a lot of women understand, which is like, I have to play this off as funny, but I'm so uncomfortable. That's honestly so cringy to watch. It's so hard for me to watch that, but here we go.
Hold it like you're gonna ring it at some point.
Okay.
Do you know how bad this makes me feel? That's what she said over the audience laughing. Do you know how bad this makes me feel? In these moments, if she's not making a joke and she's genuinely uncomfortable with reading her body language, everyone, read the room. She's uncomfortable. Do you know how bad this makes me feel? Awkwardly holding the bell, rigid, and not really wanting to do this.
You know I can't talk about that.
All right. All right, John.
I don't know what I'm.
You're supposed to ring.
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring.
But I don't want to, I don't want to. She repeated herself. Okay, so this is a familiar feeling. When someone's making you uncomfortable, you will try to appease the aggressor, right? You're gonna try to appease them. You're going to be like, okay, there's a tense moment. I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna try to repeat myself and hope and pray that you finally listen to me. And then
Don't want to get there.
Ellen takes the bell and she holds it for her and starts ringing it for her. And when people are like, it's not that deep, it's not that deep. Here's the thing, guys. This is what that looks like. But someone bypassing consent and like forcing a narrative forward, regardless of that person's consent, that's what's happening in this moment, which is why you're seeing that level of discomfort on her face. Like, this is, like, it's painful to watch.
Oh, you didn't.
No,
you
it
didn't
wasn't.
date
No,
him.
we didn't
No,
date.
he's getting married. Okay.
We
You didn't date.
either. What are you doing to me? This is me.
Why are you doing this? She covers her face and Ellen's just hitting the bell. Why this is so cringy is because it's a violation. It's a violation of her privacy. And why this is such a hot topic is because people feel like they're owed that when it's a celebrity. So when someone comes up into the limelight and they literally make songs and they, you know, go on dates and they have a romantic life or whatever, like, it is that celebrity's own discretion to share that part of their life with their audience. And that is what makes this so cringy. And to me, I think this is the lesson on everyday consent, emotional consent, interaction consent. It's like when you're forcing someone to go on a scary ride and they don't want to. That's against their consent. When you're forcing someone to have a really deep conversation and they're really not ready for it, that's going against their consent. These are things that happen in everyday life, and this is what I'm aiming for these interviews, is that y'all can like understand what it feels like to see someone be either manipulative or coercive or honestly just bypassing consent. And when people are trying to publicly navigate that in interviews, it comes out. And some people do it really well. And honestly, I really feel bad for Taylor in this moment because she was honestly like blatantly bypassed of what she needed in that moment, which was hey, Ellen, take a clue. And Ellen completely bypassed that. Until next time, leave some comments. Let me know which interview you want me to do next. This is starting a series, so I'm excited to do more reactions for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you're subscribing, and I will see you next time.